hopefully eat food on a regular basis. All of you have encountered food waste at some point in your life. Today, my goal for you guys is to inform you about how we waste food, what issues it causes, and what we can do about it. So, let's start with this. Anyone know what this is? Just call it out. Rose Bowl. If you said Rose Bowl, congratulations. Alright, so on a busy day, it might be filled with people. 90,888 people to be exact. But just for today, I want you to imagine this Rose Bowl filled with the food of your choice. Like this. Boom. I want you to take another Rose Bowl and fill it with the exact same amount of food, like this. Boom. This is the amount of food America as a country wastes in food every year. 300 million glorious American tons of it. So today, what I'm going to do is take a slice of this delicious trash pie and look at the ways we as a country waste our fresh fruits and vegetables. The journey of a fresh piece of produce from the farm to the table is full of wasteful moments, and I'll go through as many as I can today. But just to be clear, what I mean by food waste is not stuff like this: chicken bones, eggshells, or apple cores. Although these items could be reused, they are an inevitable part of our eating experiences. What I'm talking about are the perfectly edible items we throw out due to one reason or another. Now, historically, this journey from farm to table was a pretty simple one. We all lived like this dude and grew off of the food we grew. Lived off of the food we grow. However, in our industrialized and urbanized society, hardly any of us live off of the food we grow, and we rely on far-off sources to meet our dietary needs. Today, the average piece of produce travels 1,500 miles from its original location, making the journey a challenging one. To start off, let's look at a typical head of lettuce. What do we look for when we buy a head of lettuce? We look for good quality, uniform coloring, firm texture, and general freshness. Perhaps something like the one on the left. What we don't want is that ugly-looking pathetic thing on the right. The farms know this and take extensive measures to ensure what arrives at the store is the cream of the crop. The selection process begins at the farm, where workers separate the good produce from the bad through rather interesting methods. For instance, the industry-wide practice for picking out lettuce is to hold a head of lettuce like this, squeeze it once or twice, and selecting it just based on feel. Although this does pick out the firm pieces of lettuce, which is usually good, this also leaves out many slightly soft pieces of lettuce that are perfectly good to eat. Additionally, because the workers are periodically graded on the lettuce that they pick, they throw out anything that remotely feels unacceptable. And what ensues is a cornucopia of waste. For lettuce alone, 10 million pounds are left right at the farm and go straight to the landfill. And once the lettuce are sorted, they're then sent over to large distribution centers like this one. And when it arrives at these large distribution centers, even more sorting is taking place. Before a center accepts an order of lettuce that they order from a farm, they take a representative sample, in this case, one head of lettuce, and they cut it up to check for these following problems. Now, a lot of these problems here are valid. However, if the distribution center encounters a problem with the representative sample of lettuce, then they'll reject the entire shipment, sending even hundreds of more pounds of lettuce heads and other similar produce products straight to the landfill. And finally, when the produce makes it to the store like this, a common issue is the practice of overstocking, where store owners are more eager to keep their stockpiles constantly full and they will often throw out old food rather than risk running out of food on the shelf. But beyond this farm to table journey, the food we eat has changed to become more conducive to waste. And a common trend in America is just making food bigger. Your typical delicious chocolate chip cookie has grown 4 times larger over the past 50 years. And these bigger sizes not only lead to overconsumption, but also a lot of food waste from what we don't eat. But perhaps the most common way we waste food, and what makes food waste a stupid problem, is that we just forget the food we buy. That's right, a quarter, 25% of food we buy leave uneaten and we eventually throw out. And it's like if we just bought 4 bags of groceries at the market and we drop one on our way to the car and never bother to pick it up. And why exactly do we do this? I don't have an answer for you. But perhaps one theory is that because we have so many amazing food options beyond the ones in our home, we take the food we buy at stores for granted. And in what ways does this food waste cause problems for our country? Well, from an economic perspective, food waste is a huge waste of money. Every year, 4-person families spend $2,200 in wasted food. That's 22 Ben Franklins that you can spend on literally anything else. And then, from an environmental point of view, food waste destroys our planet on multiple fronts. First, although food is biodegradable, food packed inside a tight landfill undergoes anaerobic decomposition, during which methane gas is emitted. And many landfills have to install these vents to slowly release the methane into the atmosphere, because otherwise these landfills would explode from the pressure buildup. Additionally, when we waste food, we're by extension wasting the resources used to grow and distribute the food. Especially with products like meat and dairy, the amount of water we waste to grow food is enough to meet the needs of 500 million people. And finally, for my spiritual audience members, the major religions directly or indirectly criticize wasting food. Without going in too deep, most religions consider food a sacred object, and wasting food is considered disrespectful to the Creator. So after all this talking, what are things we can do to reduce food waste? You can follow in the footsteps of the U.S. Air Force Academy and create a machine that turns your food scraps into paper. However, I presume that most of you don't have $100 grand to spend and a master's in mechanical engineering, so here are a few simpler solutions. The first solution involves this, the Best Buy label. How many of you have thrown out something because it's past the Best Buy label? I certainly have multiple times. But have you ever wondered how manufacturers determine the date? Well, the truth is, the date you see on these packages are for the most part completely meaningless. Unlike what many people, including myself, thought, these date labels aren't indicative of when a food goes bad. They're indicative of when a food becomes not as tasty as the manufacturer wants it to be. In fact, the only food mandated by the FDA to have a true Best Buy label is infant formula. So the next time you pick up a cereal box at the store that's just a day past the date, or you find an old Gatorade bottle in your garage, just keep it and give it a go. And finally, the second solution is to change our food buying habits. When you're at a store, just buy the ugly-looking piece of fruit, like the one in the middle, because the chances are they'll taste 90% the same. Simply buy less. Remember, you can always go back to the store to buy more. Now, food waste does involve multiple groups, so it's no easy task to solve, but I think we can all contribute to reducing our edible footprint. Thank you.